And hello, everybody, and welcome back to the creation of Memorial Island. I think we're on season 4. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Now I feel like Rick Sanchez, Rick and Morty, they they did it. They did it like the streamers, like the YouTubers, like all that. It's awesome. But basically, what I mean by all that is, they Rick was oh, hi cow. We got some food coming for you soon. And then we're gonna have many cows, and we're gonna have many item frames. Because yet we're going to be killing cows. So if you're against that, you might not want to watch this episode. No, I'm just kidding. It's simulated violence. Again, like I said, like I don't do it. Although, granted, I say that, but let me tell you a little story about some cybersecurity that okay, and let's see. 1 minute in, let's do the alarm. So it is 1:38. So 2:08, 2:07. There we go. Okay. So in Rick and Morty, Rick Sanchez is constantly saying for the first 2 seasons, he's constantly saying "All right, welcome next time." Blah, 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 or, that's my thing. That's my, and he's like explaining what he's doing. And so it's like the writers talking to you, and there's a lot of that. Like when they do, it's like a bunch of people are just sitting around smoking bud and like writing this stuff, and that is what like a writer does all day. I'm sorry. I mean, there's the writer strikes, but you try to think of funny things, or you try to think of things through a different perspective, and then you tell it in a funny way so it's pleasant to people. So right there, you're taking communication, human communication in the form of English, and you're using it as a tool to communicate ideas in a calm and presentable way that allows people to digest and not digest, but process what is being said. And that's important. That's why people feel really comfortable with Drew Carey or like, oh, my Seinfelds. You hear like the older generation say that they love their Seinfeld or something. And I'm just saying, like, not to make fun of older people. Quite the opposite. Out of respect for our elders, you know, we need to study these things and understand why they like the traditional ways because they're comfortable. Like things are changing so dramatically fast that it's difficult for them to have that throughput, that all at once shock of just like, boom, same thing when you change temperatures. And that's why, like, I mean, so, okay, there's the guy that he just recently died, and he was like the anti-gay, anti-lesbian, like voice that like upset a lot of people and ruined a lot of lives. And remember, we're talking homosexuality has been a life or death situation, not all overall across the board, but it has been, and that's why it's so important. Just for anyone who's like coming in like halfway or like whatever. But yeah. So but then the argument is this guy had just died, and then I started seeing all these people saying good riddance, like burn in hell and all this, and like for a religious leader. And then you talk about homosexuality in the Middle East. So there you go. I don't know where that's at actually, and I've heard that it's still illegal. I've heard that it's illegal in Russia. I mean, so even that, I don't know. I mean, that's like, and is it illegal because they really take moral issue from it, or is it illegal because they need their population to be strong, and now they're losing all these people in this conflict? Like, oh, and yeah, just the whole thing. And I'm embarrassed for sending weapons and not like food and stuff, but at the same time, like we needed to stop. And unfortunately, and we tried sanctions. We did for a long time. And I know we did because for the longest time, and I did watch Fox News for a while there because I was at my buddy's house or his shop. And and so Fox News was on just blaring and it was annoying because they were just like sanctions, sanctions. We need to impose sanctions on Putin, sanctions on Putin. And these are all the Republicans. And then it's like, wait, those sanctions don't just hit Putin. They hit all of Russia. And so now you've got the Russian people kind of screwed, like all because of the Ukraine thing. Like, but then they only understand sanctions. Like we need to like squeeze them so they stop killing people. But yeah, where were our sanctions when we invaded the Middle East? Like, it's like, wait, what? We were killing a lot of people. I mean, we were blowing up entire cities, bombing in these places, and so that's why I'm just like, but the average American doesn't focus on that. We don't talk about that because it's not polite conversation. Just like the hospital we blew up. Yes, that's right. We blew up a hospital. Not on purpose, I don't think. I really hope not. But And I remember hearing one of my more patriotic friends saying, "No, we've never blown up a hospital. We don't do that. We don't do that sort of thing. We fight people that do that." And then it's like, well, I hate to tell you, but I saw the news story when it came out. One of my Saudi roommates showed me the article and was like, "Hey, dude, your country just blew up a hospital." And I looked at it, I was like, "No way." Like, that was my instant reaction. I was like, protective of my country. I was like, "Absolutely not. Like, we don't do that sort of thing." Like, just kind of defensive. And he's like, "No, no, look." And like, I looked and I was like, "Well, shoot. I guess we did." Then like, same with when Biden first took over, or was first took office. He blew up like a carload of kids on accident, I want to say, with a drone strike in one of the Middle Eastern countries. And we were trying to hunt, like, I don't know, and there's probably some razzle dazzle for his political points, like his leadership. That's why everybody should watch House of Cards and just like seeing how like evil politics can be. And that's our thing. Our Netflix cinema, we've got Breaking Bad, we've got Better Call Saul, and we've got House of Cards. If you do anything, watch those three shows, and then you see how corrupt politics can be, how corrupt law enforcement can be, how corrupt corrections can be, like how corrupt law can be, healthcare. I mean, it's all in there. Like it addresses all of the key areas that we are concerned about as a society, and it's done brilliantly too. Like, oh my gosh, I'm loving Better Call Saul, and I've watched Breaking Bad like 20 times, all the way through. But I mean, also when I was drinking, I watched Dexter a lot, not on repeat. Like, I mean, I think I watched it twice through just because of the story. Now that I think about it, and I don't even think I finished it all the way through because once was enough with that stuff. Like, and that was that righteous, like, yeah, sock it to him, like, because of the devil. That's imagining that the devil exists. And I think that's why Dexter was so profound, is because it proves that the devil is in all of us, or we are all potentially the devil. And then, okay, so that sounds scary saying like that, like, oh my God, he just said he's the devil. Like, this guy's crazy. Like, no, no, no. There is no devil, is basically what I've been saying. And like, we created a devil to explain characteristics and behavior that we didn't understand. And now, if that's true, then boy, do we have a lot of possessions in the Catholic Church because there's a lot of devils raping kids. Like, boom. Like, okay, so right there, your logic is false that there is a devil. Otherwise, you better start exercising every last sexual offender, sex offender, everywhere. Because obviously it's the devil that did it. It's some unknown entity that we just, oh, it's the God, it's the chariot God that pulls the sun across the sky. That's why Western Civ is so important, because we did this. We did this as people. This is nothing new. We like to think we're original. And it's like, nah, we did we did all of this before. Same with Christianity. It's been done. Like the thought of Jesus even was not even original to Christianity. So not saying, and that's even more of an argument that it could be real, because you call a rose by a different name, does it smell any less sweet? No. In fact, I smelled a really cool rose the other day. My daughter found it. She saw this really cool looking rose. She's like, oh, it smells good. I was like, wait, what, really? Because she stopped to smell the roses, literally. And we say that as an expression. Actually, I remember when it was described to me, the type A and type B personalities, that, oh, the type B personality is the lollygagging, la la la, kind of like a hippie, it sounded like. I was like, well, that sounds fun. Like, nice. Stop and smell the roses, enjoy life. Like, why are you doing all of this if not to enjoy your life? I mean, to relax with your family or to create a family or, and have the freedoms to do that. Or if you don't want to create your own family, or if you don't want to create your own family by, oh, okay. Huh. Eh. Oh. Oh. All right. Well, lesson learned. Do you kill ducks? Do you kill birds? Go on. Go on. That's 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 so messed up, but that's human nature in a nutshell. All right. Well, okay. And a funny story about my daughter. She was playing Minecraft and she was really little, like I don't know, like 4 or 5, and um and she's actually I don't even know what was that about. Anyways, it was before I started streaming YouTube. So, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh, you can look up how old your kids are." Yeah, well, you know, open source intelligence. People around me can find that stuff out pretty creepily too. And but we have cops, we have law enforcement, we have cybersecurity professionals. Sorry. Oh wait, the dogs don't kill cows. Okay, so oh wait, do you? Do you? Do you? Sorry, it's messed up. So, anyways, it's a cute story. So she was in creative mode and she was spawning all this cool stuff. And oops. And basically, yeah, let's do like 4 stacks there, so we can deposit all of this. Actually, I just 2 stack. Not even. You don't even need 2 stacks for that. Never mind. Anyways, we'll put the cherry stuff. Uh, let's actually put half there. I do want to. Oh wait, wait. No, let's go ahead and keep getting that. Anyways, the whole point of that is, or the cute story. Sorry, let's go back to the cute story. My daughter was playing creative, and she spawned a whole bunch of sheep. Just a ton of sheep, and she was all having fun. She was giggling. She's like, "Ah, that's so cool." And then she's like, "I want some doggies," and she spawned a whole bunch of wolves, and those wolves just tore that flock or that herd of sheep to death, like just killed all of them. And it was like exponential, like how like traumatic that might have been seeing a sheep die. Like it's imagine like have a bunch of cows spawn and then have it killed. And now let's talk throughput, respect, and so just like North Korea was not happy about our movie, The Interview, India is not happy about how we kill cows. Now, we kill a lot of cows, a ton. And I actually abused that for a cybersecurity principle, and I instantly regretted it. So here's what I did, and here's the story of that. So adults, full-grown people, are also equally offended by like scenes of death and murder and like like killing cows and stuff. So I was getting scammed, right? And I was playing along. I wanted to see how far I could go with it, and like only giving out. I did give out my phone number, which I admit I'm going to try to start using Google Voice. But I don't know if I really have to because I've had the same number forever. It's been the target of many different things. Like, and at the same time, I don't care because it's kind of funny. Like, and then I get to study it, and then I get to tell the police about it, and then they study it, and then I get to tell the alphabet agencies about it, and then they study it. And people don't realize that what it means to be a cybersecurity professional, someone who's officially trained, is at some point you're going to be communicating to someone who does work for law enforcement, who does work in corrections, who does work in government. And they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, thanks for that. And then they'll do what they will with it. I mean, that's all it has to be. It never has to go past that. And I definitely don't get paid for any of that. I don't want to. I mean, I want to help my country and serve my, my neighborhood. It's those ripples of authority and control. And they ripple outward in the sense that, I support my community. No, sorry. First, I support me. It's a trickle down effect explained with people. So first I support me, and then I pay attention to how big my glass is. And then I support the people around me, specifically my family. And even if they're not around me, like I'd be more inclined to help someone that's related to me rather than someone I don't know. That's why, and even then, I don't even help people that I don't know. Actually, I changed my mind. I do want to have that all just like, and if I change my mind again, I can build actual stumps. But I like the idea of having well, like harvesting a bunch of them, but also just littering the sky with these to make a canopy. Like, I do like that idea. So, yeah, we're going to do it. Anyways, but the ripple of control and authority and responsibility too. It's all of those things. Like, and then also knowing when you don't have the authority or you don't need to be. You're unneeded, and especially if you're unwanted. Like, if you're trying to take control over an area or a situation and they don't want your help, that's really awkward too. And then it's hard because then it's like, okay, you're a little sore from that, like taken back, like, okay, fine. If you don't want my help, then you don't get my help on anything. And it's like, oh, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. Like, and that's why emotions are bad to have. And even as I say that, women are very emotional people. However, we at least need a balance. And then maybe like a period of matriarchy control, see how it goes, and see if it's any worse than patriarchy because, I mean, we kill a lot of each other. Mm. And I think that dog disappeared or despawned. But something to be aware of. Hmm. Well, let's see how many. So I have almost a stack of these. That's my goal. And then after that, It can just be a canopy for the most part. So we have, oh no, oh, okay. We're gonna plant a ton. Well, let's plant them further away from our garden area. You don't want to plant them too close because then I feel like they don't grow, but I don't have anything to really base that off of. I haven't actually done like scientific experiments to observe the behavior of the game mechanics of this game. And again, it is just a game, so it's like this isn't complete accurate. This isn't a completely accurate depiction of nature, not by any means. It's a very watered down, not dumbed down, but watered down analysis of creation, existence. So, and then let's do some more of this. So I really don't want any of the stone. I mean, it is kind of nice, like, but then at the same time, I'd almost rather it be dirt, just have like a more natural, whatever. I guess there's rocks exposed in like canyons and rivers, but I don't want it to look too weird, like too unnatural. So there is like a kind of compromise. All right. But I do want the dirt to go all the way around. See, we can leave like a little like a stone. It kind of even looks like a concrete, like a human-made. And see right there, man-made versus human-made. Just even changing the way we say things. Like, it's not that weird. Like, oh, I am human, I am. Because that's been kind of like the criticisms in the past is like saying human instead of saying man. It's so awkward for people. But then how do you think it feels for women? Like, you know, like, oh, a man made it. Well, why does it have to be a man? And it's like, well, we don't mean that. And like, of course, nobody means that. Or so they say. But then it's like, but then why don't we just say the other ways? Oh, that's weird. And see, that's where we're kind of getting caught up right now. All right, I do need some more saplings, so. Actually, I do need some of this, too. How's my axe? Okay, so we have shrubberies. In fact, we could put shrubbery all around the actual, like at least the corners, see? Oh, that looks so cool. Oh, more shrubbery. Actually, more saplings, too. Annie up. Which is funny because Annie up is like a gambling term. So when you're trying to like, but then like hip hop music has like Annie up, crack that fool, and I think that's Ice Cube. He's like, get him, get him, get him, get him. Anyway, sorry, music's all playing in my head, but basically an idea, the gambling, like trying to get resources from other people, legitimately or illegitimately, and that's the problem. Is because gambling is pretty much like stealing, because the house always wins, and yet we say that. And we say we understand what that means, but do we really understand what that means? It means the house always wins. And I taught my kids early on that claw games are scams. Now, and then you look at the lottery, and it's like, oh. And I have played the lottery in the past. I don't now, because I don't have money. And I didn't have money then, but I mean, I have spent a decent amount of money on lotto tickets, and it's annoying. I think we all do, because everybody has that dream that it's like, oh, I'm going to win it big, and you have to bet big. And it's like, okay, yeah, but maybe do that when you can afford to. And in the meantime, let's hedge our bets. And see, that's why I like to say that. Like, it's kind of like hedging our bets, or basically like trying to bet smart and, to try to win, which is basically logically what everybody's trying to do, especially in situations of like gambling and stuff. Oh, oh, wait, this was the natural? All right, well, we're getting some dirt. Oh, 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 oh. We're getting it from this way. Okay. And yeah, we're going to have to head back soon. And actually, I kind of need to cool it on these recordings and make sure that they're all being uploaded because I got like, what, like 5 now? 6? And I mean, I've still got 2 from yesterday coming up. And I don't know. Like, ugh. Yeah, let's go ahead and plant like just tons more. Oh, they are already all over the place. And I'm purposely leaving about 1, 2, 3, 4. See, now it actually is. So I can grow 4 wide that way and 4 wide this way. In fact, yeah. Here's my marker. So if we do, see, so now this is the capacity of my farm. Oh, and would you looky there? We have our first wheat. So then we can start breeding cows, and then, then it's going to get offensive to some people. But let's see. Or not, because that's the thing. Like when presented as like just a video game, I feel like it's less offensive because you're killing other people too. So, and if you're going to be offended about a cow being killed over a person, then I'm sorry, you've got some twisted morals. Like I don't care if they are sacred. Like a person is more sacred than a cow. But not to say that they aren't sacred. So it's not that I do this out of like, and that would be a jerk thing to do. I mean, that's like, and they even tell you these things like in, okay, there we go. Um, Portal Knights. Portal Knights is a great example. They tell you to not build offensive structures or buildings. They just tell you, just don't do it. I mean, please don't. It's offensive. It's mean. Like we don't need it. We don't allow it. They'll ban you for that kind of thing, and rightfully so. Like and that's why I love communication technology, which includes social media and video games, because you are socially interacting with people all over the world. See, now I'm back to the idea that I like it that they have trees. Like, I still want the entire thing to be like a canopy of sorts, but I think I want it to be actual trees, not just floating trees. Plus, I need a lot more saplings, so we're going to keep going. But anyways, saplings, logs, all of this, because, yeah, I'm going to build like a couple more houses on this thing. Maybe I'll do that at a later time, or just come back. I gotta finish this too. That was almost dangerous. Oh yeah, I'm starting to get hungry. I need to do some other things with my day. Well, and yeah, the coding. So I was all prepared to do the Sudoku validator thing, which yeah, it's a very easy blue. And that's why I liked it. Like, I was like, all right, huzzah, because the goal is once you're a blue rank, then you're recognized as someone that can code. Now, how much you can code, that's why you also need to do code in game, because then you get into like artificial intelligence and gaming logic, and it still presents you with a lot of the same puzzles and challenges that you get in Code Wars, but then it takes it a step further, and you can see it animated out in real time, and then you can see the proposed benefits of, well, software and game designers can do this, and it's like, but then, I don't know. And then it's almost like there's no point to try to be an actual game developer because there's such a competition for it now that you can make your own content like I'm doing. But I mean, I'm not doing it for money. But if you wanted to do it for money, you could make Fortnite Islands, which is basically developing your own games, very rudimentary. And I'm starting to make my own creative islands just to see if I can. And, I'm going to see if I can make up some ideas and see if I can make money that way. And if not, maybe, my kids can make money that way. And then cool. Like, all right. Although I'm still very careful with what I share about their stuff. And yes, my kids play video games. And yes, they record videos. And yes, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But, I don't know. I don't let them communicate with other people with strangers. That's basically my thing. And that's the same thing, stranger danger. Like, we never let our kids, back in the day, people didn't let their kids talk to random strangers off the street, even if they were well-intentioned. And I specifically know somebody that I saw in the paper somewhere. I was reading an article about him, and they were reported, like, Fort Collins Police Department reported this guy that I knew. I mean, I didn't know where he was or what he was doing, or, like, but I knew of him. And I was like, wow, oh, wait, is that... Okay, my alarm's coming up soon, but what was this thing? Oh, Team Snapchat sent me a message. It's like, you're too creepy. Stop using our social media. I'm just kidding. No, I don't. Oh, wait. 2:07. So, and if I check here, it's about 5 minutes, so that tracks, but that makes sense. Anyways, my point is communication technologies and social interaction are how we're going to fix this. Communication is how we're going to fix literally every problem in the world. The two taboos, religion and politics, every problem with those, the Middle East, Russia, like the Far East, the Far West, the far everywhere. That's how we're going to fix everything. The new world order. And that's not some scary witch talk, like just because we don't understand it. I mean, like we used to think there was a god that powered the sun, the chariots, the global things like that. And then, and same with Asian culture. I want to say I've heard stuff about there being spirits that control things, or I wonder if there's a devil in, I want to say Buddhism. And then is Buddhism even a thing for like I'd have to see the breakdown, the demographic of how many people worship how many different things to really understand how to effectively problem solve in Asian places. So I'm going to stick to my lane and try to just do American stuff. And then in India, because I've been there and I plan on going there again, I mean, and not because they need help, but because they could use it. And even that help could be in the form of, hey, all famous rich people in India, here's what you need to be doing, like providing a link to that aquaponics company and saying, hey, that's a sort of thing. And then also telling them, hey, I know people that have grown massive amounts of marijuana, which is a very particularly picky plant. It's very hard to grow weed, especially grow it so potent and powerful. And just the botany and like the science behind it, or witchcraft, if you think Harry Potter is a witchcraft thing, because you don't understand it. Like people banned Harry Potter when it first came out because it was witchcraft. I mean, it was everything that the Catholic Church hates, like, ooh, ooga booga. And it's like, no. And I say that, and some people might get offended at that, and I'm sorry, but you need to grow up. Um, Basically, witches and Wicca and all of that stuff isn't like the devil. There is no devil. Like, I mean, and a lot of that, they even say that. I know some people that are interested or they're hobbyists of Wicca or like witch stuff, and they like to joke about it because it makes more religious people that have made them uncomfortable in the past uncomfortable now. So it's like an equalizer for them. Same with the LGBTQ and anything homosexual or even bisexual or anything in between is like a while ago that used to be persecuted and it still is in places today. And so it's like, okay, hold up. Now we got to fix that before. And it's okay. Whatever you feel about them, you can dislike them, but they need a right to live, a right to keep all their limbs, a right to not be in jail. Like, just because you disagree with it doesn't mean that they belong in a cell. Like, that's what a lot of people don't get that. Also, now I'm second guessing this. Let's do that. Let's take this out. Let's put just anything else random as a plant. Because that's just plant stuff. And as we start harvesting item frames and stuff, then we can have it here. And we'll put all the pink stuff here. And then we have some wood too, just because why not? Ooh, we can actually start breeding as this video is almost done. But yeah, we're getting places. Circular array. See, even I'm slow on the take with that. And I didn't get a seed. Or do I have seeds? Nope. That's annoying. So, but anyways, these are going to keep growing. I should let them, like a lot of them grow because that kind of glitched out. I see a lot of these trees are starting to grow now, so I can keep chopping them down. I have quite a few logs. But I'm about to make a lot of houses too, so I got it. We'll at least make a single house for every memorial there. It'll be like and that's kind of sad too. Like I pass by a graveyard a lot when I'm driving through like Loveland. There's one in Windsor, like there's one in Fort Collins. Like I kind of drive by them a lot, and I have for a long time, and it's like, oh, it's depressing. I mean, it's respect, and it's like we're trying to respect our dead. And then you start thinking about Monty Python, like, bring out your dead, and they're like, dong. And then, how they don't respect their dead or their elders even in that movie, just because, like, it's, oh, can't you come back, Nick? Or can't you come back? No, this is the only round I'm doing this week, and, like, stuff like that. And it's like, so they end up, like, murdering their family member just to, like, drop them off down in the cart. And sorry, that's, like, out of context. That could seem pretty messed up. But when you're watching Monty Python, you're like, oh, that's kind of a chuckle. Because they experiment with, like, how much you can actually or how much you can go for the average person. And that's like a comedy shack. I've had a friend do that, like go to the comedy clubs and try to do his act. And oh, there we go. So, anyways, this is really coming along. This Memorial Island or this Memorial Caldera. So, all right. Until the next one, ta ta.